Okay, we are live. Let's see if maybe we'll get some viewers. But um, yeah, let's just start playing. Warm up with the mate in threes. Okay. Oh, okay. So we have some viewer count. So quickly explain what this is. Uh, so I had the idea after the US Shogi Championship that I needed to improve my endgame. And so one of the ideas I came up with is what if I just do Tsume problems? Because I'm very, very weak at Tsume problems. So what if I just do Tsume problems for an entire month? And then I thought, that actually sounds kind of interesting. I should make a video about it. And then I started to think, how can I make a video about it? And then I was just like, maybe I should just stream it. And then later on, I can kind of like edit a bunch of the stream content into a video. And then I ran into the problem of I don't have any Tsume books. But then I remember I have this N64 game. It's called Saikyo Habushogi. And I've had this game since I was like 7 years old or something. And it has Tsume problems on it. So for the last 3 days, I've basically only been doing Tsume problems on this old N64 game. I decided maybe it'll be interesting enough to stream it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm kind of warming up right now with all of the mate in 3 problems. The mate in 3 problems, I've done all of them before, so you're kind of seeing me autopilot these. If I look to the right like this, it's because I have the main screen over there. I guess technically I can also look straight ahead to my computer that sees the recording. But yeah, I think a lot of the mate in 3 should go quite quickly. I'm just hoping that the chat is actually working and that I can actually see what people are saying in chat. Maybe I need to refresh it. I don't see anything. Oh, I should probably put the chat to live mode, not to top mode, but okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. For basically for the month of May. I started a few days ago. But yeah, basically for the month of May, I'm just going to be doing Tsume problems. I'm not going to be doing anything else. So here, I think I need the rucksack here so I can drop a gold on the other side. If the king takes it, gold drop on the head. So because I had no Tsume bucks, I did know that I had a bunch of easy mates that I could do in this game. And technically, this game also has some hard ones that are like 13 plus moves. But I decided I was also gonna buy some books that have hard Tsume in them. And I started doing the mate problems in this game, and I just started massively struggling even with like mate in 5. Like a several mate in 5 problems stuck me for quite a long time. Geki Sashi also has Tsume problems and a lot of other stuff too. I bought it a couple of years ago. Ah, okay. I believe this gets the job done here. So yeah, I had multiple mate in 5 problems stump me for like half an hour. And I was like, oh no, it's gonna be an absolute disaster. Now the good news is, within like just the first 3 days of doing this, I definitely have gotten better. At least I've gotten better at Tsume problems. We're gonna see at the end of the month. I'm just gonna start playing again and see if I win more matches or not. Um, but at the very least, I can sense improvement in the actual Tsume themselves, as I was able to solve those mate in five problems that I couldn't solve before. And then, like, in my process of trying to find Tsume books on Amazon, they usually let you look at a preview, and so I was able to pretty easily solve like a mate in 13. Which was like in a preview of one of the books. So it feels like at the very least I'm getting better at Tsume. We'll see if that translates to actual in-game strengths. I believe this. We just sacked this. So yeah, like these mate in three problems, I'm not like 100% solving them from scratch. I've solved them all before, so I'm kind of just like remembering what I need to do for these. So like this one, I'm pretty sure the sack is here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this for the whole month. I'll probably end up streaming the rest of at least like a bit a day. It was just like an idea that I had that this is probably how I should do it. I had the idea yesterday. So, I mean, I've had the idea to stream this game at some level before. Obviously, that's why I have the setup to do it. I just never really found a good time or reason to do it, and I just felt like, oh, well, I'm playing. I'm starting to play it a lot more because I'm doing it for the Tsume. But the game actually has several different game modes that I think are also pretty interesting. So like there's this like tournament game mode where you play against different AIs of like varying I don't know if you call it skill level. And I distinctly remember playing it when I was a little kid and just like never being able to beat like this one specific character. And I'm thinking I'm going to get revenge on this guy pretty soon. Okay, so I think this makes sense. Yeah. And we'll do that on stream as well. Okay. I think I struggled with this one for quite a while. What happened at the US Championship? I missed pretty much all of the recent international shogi happenings. Yeah, so it was a great tournament. I had a lot of fun. I think we had something around the order of 44, 45 players. There were a lot of unexpected results. So, I think if you know Michael Wang, he got second place at ISF last year. He didn't make the final four. That was really surprising. And we had like a 10-year-old in the finals. That was really, really impressive. And the guy that ended up winning is not actually American, he's Canadian. Or technically he's Japanese, but he's from Canada. And he got to the finals last year against Noah, who is, I think he's like 16, 17, and he ended up winning last year. And so it was nice to see because the guy's a really nice guy, and it was great to see that he got his revenge on Noah in the semifinals. He beat him, and then he won a really, really clean game in the finals against a 10-year-old. Which sounds not that impressive, but the 10-year-old is like pretty strong. Like there were actually two 10-year-olds that did really, really well at the tournament. One of the 10-year-olds beat Tomita-san, who is a former winner of the US Shogi Championship, and I lost to this 10-year-old as well. It was a really close game. I actually had quite a bit of a lead in that game, like Lee Shogi plus 12. But I just made a couple mistakes and just wasn't able to close out the game. But yeah, these 10-year-olds were actually like really, really strong at was in Japanese they call it nebari, which is like basically defending and fighting Even though like you're in a really bad position to just like fight, defend, make it as hard as possible for your opponent. Both of the 10-year-olds I think were actually very strong at this. Which is interesting because I think younger kids are usually much more aggressive, but both of these 10-year-olds were like really strong defensively. Okay, so I remember this one. Believe it's this. Um, yeah, hanging on in a worse position. Yeah. Now, like the really impressive thing in the finals, like the 10-year-old was fighting and fighting and fighting, but this guy, his name is Yuta Sato. Um, he just gave the kid zero chance. It was really clean, really impressive. Where like he had the lead and he just didn't make a single mistake. And actually, it was the same thing in the semifinals against Noah as well, where he got an advantage out of the opening, and and he just never made a mistake. It was really impressive. Like there was one point where the game looked pretty complicated in the semifinals, and the guy made like between 15 and 20 like top two engine moves in a row to just like hold on to the advantage. So yeah, it was really impressive. Um, all right, let's just try and cruise through the rest of these mate in threes, and then I think I've done maybe like the first 15 mate in fives, but then after that I'm gonna be on my own. Um, so, but yeah, it was a really fun tournament. Um, I wish I would have done a little bit better, but I went 2-2 in A group last year, and I was 1-3 in A group this year. So if you look at just like the raw results, I did worse this year. But the competition was so much higher this year. It was crazy, and we had like three professional players. One of them, I think, is like I don't know how you put it, but basically he goes and does a lot of international appearances for on behalf of the JSA. And he was saying like in the past I was pretty convinced that the level in Europe is much higher than in the US, but this year the level of this US tournament is probably at least close to on par with the European ones. And I did the US Shogi Championship last year. I did the WOSC in Barcelona last year, and I definitely felt that the European tournament was much stronger. But yeah, like I agree with him that this year the US tournament was much higher level. So like I'm certain I've gotten much better since I participated in these tournaments last year. But like I think last year's US Shogi Championship there were like four players who were like actual like viable winners of the tournament. Um, all four of them were back this year. Two of them did not make the semifinals, and one of them being Michael Wang, who got second in the ISF. And so I think there were at least double that number of players this year that had like a legit chance at winning. And then of the players that were around my level, I would say that last year there were almost no players that were at like the amateur 3 dan level. I was last year maybe around amateur 2 dan, amateur shodan ish, and there were a decent chunk of people in that range. But there was like a clear separation last year between the top four players and the rest of the players. Whereas this year there were more people competing with those top four players. There were many more people who were like just slightly a tier below them that could take a game off of them if they had a good game, and the top tier players had a bad game. It was really competitive this year. I was impressed. Surprised, but slightly disappointed that I didn't play that well. But actually, I mean that this is a slight disappointment, I would say, is one of the reasons why I'm doing this experiment, right? Of doing Tsume for a whole month and only doing Tsume for a month. And really, I just don't do Tsume very often, if ever. And so even starting off with mate in threes is useful for me. And mate in fives still give me trouble sometimes if they're a little bit tricky. Okay, so those are the mate in threes. We're gonna get into the mate in fives now. I think I'm just gonna remember probably the first 10 or so, and then the rest The rest I'll be on my own, and I'll be completely flailing, trying to figure them out. So yeah, feel free to just like pause the stream if you want to try and figure them out on your own. Some of these I'm gonna go pretty quick. Okay, so I remember this is tricky. I can't remember if I'm supposed to drop a rook here or gold here. I remember I drop a gold here, and they make it kind of easy, I think, where I drop the bishop now. But I think it seems a little bit tricky if they don't take the gold and they run, but it works somehow, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I think same thing here, where I drop this gold, and the computer always takes the silver on 4-1. But it seems maybe a little bit more complicated if it takes the gold on 2-1, but I think you just take the pawn with the rook on 2-3, and then you can take the gold with the silver. Oh, no, wait, no! No, I wasn't paying attention. I needed to promote the rook first. I need to promote the rook first. I need to promote the rook first before I drop the gold. All right. I was too busy reading the other line. And that's like the interesting thing, how they've... I say how they have. It's like, this is a very old game, right? I think it came out in something like 1999 or something. So... I don't know if they could have done this back then. I would assume they could. They didn't do it, but like the computer goes for the same line every single time. It would have been nice if they could actually like randomize which line it goes for, so that I don't, you can't just like mindlessly do the same move order every time. But what can you do? This one took me forever. This one took me like half an hour to figure out the first time I solved it. So it's pretty tricky. So. Maybe I'll wait and give people time to try and figure it out on their own if they want. But yeah, it is really, really tricky. And I think what I noticed with the ones that I get stuck on a lot are this type of problem. Actually, I think it's kind of just more interesting if we just like move past the ones that I've already done. So like this type of problem is the one that I really, really struggle with. Gold 1-3 is not the answer. Gold 1-3 doesn't work. Because I think you can just take with the, what was it? I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure gold 1-3 doesn't work. Or maybe it does. Maybe it's just in the opposite order. Because you do have to sack on 1-3 here. But I think maybe if you sack on 1-3 first, horse takes. But if horse takes, then you have gold drop. So maybe it works both ways. But yeah, these moves where you like double sack to like move pieces around, I struggle a lot. Well, let's see actually. Let's see if the other way works. Let's see if it works when you start with 1-3. So let's say, oh god damn it. All right. That's not what I wanted. I guess I'm supposed to say yes, I want to go to the next one and then just navigate backwards. I think that was problem number, it's the one, is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Let's see if it works if you do the gold first. Works only on third move. Is it because, wait, why? Okay, king takes. Oh yeah, because now gold drop on 3-4 isn't check. Yeah, you need both gold drop on 3-4 and gold drop on 1-3 for it to work. Right. So you need to put in 3-4 first. All right, let's go to the next one. Yeah, that one took me forever. Like I was trying gold drop on 1-3 just like you did. I was trying it on 1-4. I was trying all kinds of stuff. I just couldn't get it to work. I think in a lot of the variations I was doing, I was ending up with silver drop 1-2, but then king could run to 1-3 because I was sacking the gold on 1-4. Is what was happening with this one. Yeah, and then you get one like this, which is just like brain dead easy. Like this one you solve in like 2 seconds. Or at least I did. This one just seemed like trivial. Whereas the other one, like I spent like a half an hour on. They're both made in 5. Okay. This one also took me quite some time. This one also took me quite some time because again, it's like it's this double sack thing, and you're just like sacking and sacking just to move the pieces around. So I'm pretty sure this is kind of the mating pattern that I struggle with the most, where you kind of like need to construct the shape of the opponent's pieces in a very specific way in order to enable the mate. And so like one of the things that I've learned even just in like the first 3 days of doing this is that when you're looking for the mate, you don't necessarily need to like start from the beginning and try and read sequences of moves. One of the ways that you can try to do it instead is to figure out what is the ending sequence. Gold 2-3 and gold 1-4. Yep, that's the move order. Yeah. What is the end mate? What does the end mate look like? And then how can you get there? So that's one of the things that I've learned in the last like 3 days. So hopefully that can carry over. Oh, this one is tricky, but it didn't actually take me that long. Because I think you can kind of just like read the moves, and then you can kind of logic out what you need to do. Um, but I like this might be my favorite one that I've done so far, just because I think it's cool. um, and I like problems like this, where like you see that the obvious mate doesn't work, and then you have to problem solve. So I really like this one. So I'll give like maybe like 10 more seconds or something. Rook 1-4. You are fast with these, jeez. But yes, the idea is rook 1-4, and the reasoning is I'm gonna do the wrong line first, because that's how I solve this, is the wrong line first, which is you would want to drop the knight here first. The problem with dropping the knight first is you would like to drop a pawn here, but this is mate by pawn drop, which is illegal. Actually, okay, yeah, okay. I was just curious because I never actually did it. So it does tell you this is mate by pawn drop. You're not allowed to do it. Oh, and then it just gives you the move back. Well, that's kind of weird. So basically, this is how I figured it out, which is that, okay, this is mate by pawn drop, which is bad. So what we need to do is get this pawn drop when it's not mate, basically, right? So if we start over as, I'm going to assume that you pronounce that name Olivier. You just sack the rook first. And by sacking the rook, now you can get this pawn on 1-5, but the king can run back. It's not a mate by pawn drop anymore, and then you can mate with the knight. So I really like this problem. It's like a very clever problem, I think, where you have to work around this mate by pawn drop idea. Okay, this one also took me a long time. This one took me over half an hour. And the big problem that I had with this is in all of the lines that I was looking at, the king would always run to 2-2, and then I couldn't mate in 5 anymore. And it took me forever to figure this one out. Like, I was just like, this is not possible. A king can just, no matter what, the king can just run to 2-2. And then, even after I kind of figured out what the right first move is, I got slightly tripped up at the end based on Tsume rules. So this one involves a very specific Tsume rule about intermediate blocking drops that are irrelevant or like unnecessary. I can't remember. And that tripped me up for a while, where I was like, "Babe, but this isn't mate in 5," when it actually is. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're just not watching right now, or it's taking you a little bit longer. But I think I'm gonna go to like 2 minutes on a problem. If nobody says anything, then I'll just give the solution. Um, so yeah, like I'll probably silver 4-2 probably. Yes, silver 4-2 is the answer. It took me so long to figure out that here, when the king runs to 2-2, you can take the gold on 3-1 without promoting the silver, and that's how you can reach the king that goes to 2-2. And then here, you can drop the rook on 4-3. And this is the other part where I got stuck. So if the gold takes, you can just drop a gold on 3-2. No problem. And that's the line that they go for. But I was struggling. Well, the king can still run to 2-2. And then when you take the gold on 4-2, they can block on 3-2, and then you have to take on 3-2, and then it's mate. And that's mate in 7. But there's Tsume Shogi rules where that drop, whatever they drop on 3-2 is irrelevant because you can just take it with no matter what they do, that you just take. So in that case, it still counts as a mate in 5, and rook takes 4-2 is considered mate. So that is that's the struggle that I had. Like if you put that into an engine, the engine will tell you that that's not mate in 5. The engine will tell you that it's mate in 7. But by Tsume Shogi rules, this is mate in 5. Right, exactly. But I forgot about that because I don't do Tsume problems, and I just got stuck on trying to figure out something else. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the only way that it works. Okay. I don't remember this one. So I do remember this one now. This one also took me quite a while. I don't think it took me half an hour. I think it took me something like 10 minutes to figure this one out. So again, I'm kind of just telling everyone how bad I am at doing Tsume. And I think one of the main motivations for doing this again is that I think my level is higher. My normal playing level is much higher than my Tsume level. And so what I'm hoping is by increasing the Tsume level, that my regular level will also increase. But who knows? Who knows if that will actually happen or not. So this one, for a long time, I was trying to make gold drop 1-2 work. I was trying to make gold takes 2-3 work. What else? I think I dismissed knight drop 2-5 quite early, because once the king goes to 2-4, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I just couldn't get anything to work. What I was trying to do is force the king somehow to 2-4 and then drop a gold on 2-5. Well, that doesn't work. So yeah, I've had this game since I was 7 years old. This game, bishop 3-5. Yep. That's the move. Bishop 3-5. So bishop 3-5. Yep, exactly. It's so that you can drop the knight on 2-5 and still have mate. Yeah. But yeah, I got this game. I was living in Japan because I was born in Japan. I got this game because, essentially, how I interpret it now, because my parents were going to move me to America when I was 7 years old or something. And so, to placate me a little bit, they got me the N64. And this is literally the launch of the N64. I think there were 3, maybe 4 games that launched with the N64 in Japan, and this Saikyo Habushogi was one of them. And I had just been starting to get into Shogi at the time. Or maybe I'd already... I can't remember exactly the timing of it. Okay, I think this also took me some time. Yeah, this one is also very tricky. And I'm trying to remember exactly what the ordering was. Okay, yeah, I remember what it is now. This one is also very tricky. And again, like I think I was talking about it before, and the ones that I get stuck on, this definitely fits the pattern. Um, the last problem did not. I think it was just bishop 3-5 is kind of hard to see that you're just gonna like retreat the bishop and sack it off to open a square to drop a gold. That's a pretty tricky one. This one's tricky because it's another double sack. Um, and it's like you have to do the sacks in a very specific order, or it doesn't work. I think. Yeah, you have to do it in a very specific order. And for the longest time, I was just like, how do you prevent the king from going to 4-2 and just taking your silver? Knight 4-4 and rook 4-2. Yes, that's the trick. So, oh yeah, you need to start with the knight. If you start with the rook, then the king can take it. And then you need to do this so that the king has to take it, or yeah, something has to take, and then you clear out. And you could either drop the gold here, or if it takes with the king, you could have dropped here. If the king takes the pawn, then you can drop the gold here because the rook protects this rank. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I solved this one. I don't remember solving this one. No, I did. I did. I did solve this one, but I'm trying to remember how. Okay, I remember now. Okay, I remember now. I don't. This one I think took me like a relatively normal amount of time. Although, like I say, relatively normal, but I feel like for mate and fives, it really shouldn't take me like 2 minutes. So, but like the normal amount of time that it's taking me, I think right now to solve mate and fives is right around like 2 minutes or something. Bishop 1-3 promote. Was that it? I don't think that's it. Yeah, bishop 1-3 promote doesn't work because of king 2-1. Because you go bishop 1-3 promote, king 2-1, rook drop 2-2, but then the king can take the silver on 3-1. Rook 2-2. That is the winner. That is the winning move. Yes, rook 2-2. Gold takes. And then you sack the bishop here. That's the trick. You need to sack the rook first, and then you can sack the bishop. Because when you do it this way, if the king runs back, you have mate on 2-2, and now when the king takes, you can drop the rook here. And if the gold takes, then you have the drop on 2-2. So this is a bit of a tricky one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, this one took me forever as well. I think you're going to see a theme. The mate and fives take me forever. This one took me forever. And it's pretty tricky. I'm trying to remember exactly what the answer was right now. I think it's this, that, yeah. So this one took me forever because I can see that I want to prevent the king from like going king 2-3, king 1-4. But I also need to prevent the king from going king 1-4, king 5-2, or king 4-1, king 5-2. And it was really hard to see a way to do both of that. So like the first move that I tried to do is bishop drop 4-1, because that prevents the king from going to 2-3. But I couldn't figure out what to do if king takes the bishop. It's just gonna run out to 5-2. But there's a really nice move to start with here. Bishop 4-3. Bishop 4-3 doesn't work, I don't think. Bishop 4-3, I think, doesn't work because of king 2-3. Right? If bishop 4-3, king 2-3, silver drop 3-2, king can run to 1-4. But it's basically the right idea. Okay, so we're at 2 minutes. What Tsume app is this? This is technically not a Tsume app. This is an N64 game. Yes, the answer is silver drop on 4-3. Yes, silver drop on 4-3. Because if you silver drop on 4-3 and the king runs to 2-3, then you can drop the bishop on 3-2, which covers 1-4. Right. Yes, and then the trick with this is now when they take, you can drop the bishop on 4-1. Because if the king takes it, it's mate with gold on head. Yeah. So again, this is not a Tsume app. This is an N64 game from 1999, I believe, which I've had since I was 7 years old. It's called Saikyo Habushogi. You can see the image, I believe, on stream of the original box that it came in. And there's actually a bunch of different game modes. I am using this as a Tsume app right now because I have this idea that I'm just going to do Tsume problems for a month. Okay. This I think this didn't take me as long as some of the other ones. So again, when I try and solve these, I'm generally trying to do it logically as opposed to just like calculating. And so I see this and I see the main problem is the king running to 1-2. And so I wanted to drop the bishop on 3-4, but when you drop the bishop on 3-4, silver takes. I was not expecting this to be a live stream. Yeah. So, nice to see you, Shogi Dad. Oh, hi there. Whatever, I don't know what you want to call. Rook 3-2 promote. Yep, yes, that is correct. Well, my idea was that I was going to do a video, but then what I realized is I need to record myself doing the Tsume at some level. And if I'm going to record myself doing Tsume like this and talk about it, I might as well just stream it. That was basically the logical conclusion that I came to. Yeah, and now we can drop the bishop, I believe, and then the king runs, and then we drop the silver over here. So yes, rook 3-2 promote makes it so that we can potentially drop the bishop on 3-4 to block it from going to 1-2. This is a clever one. This is a really tricky one. It did not take me that long, but I really like this one as well. It's really unorthodox, actually. I'm pretty sure I've never mated anybody like this in an actual game, though. So I don't know how practical it is. And that's like always been my hesitation with doing a lot of Tsume as studying, is that so many of the Tsume seem so contrived that I don't know how actually practical it is. But I'm gonna suspend my disbelief of it for a month and just see what happens, right? And so I'll probably end up streaming every day, maybe like an hour or two of my Tsume practice. We'll see how far we get just doing the Saikyo Habushogi problems. It actually has quite a few problems. I can't remember exactly how many, but it's definitely got over like 100, maybe 150. Silver 2-4, yes. The answer, this does start with silver 2-4. Habu, the god, yes. Unfortunately, he has become a secondary god to Fuji, but king takes gold 1-5, but yeah. 5-1's over here, by the way. But yes. Gold 1-5. King runs, and this is the tricky move. You gold slides over to 2-5, and this is made because none of the blocks matter. Exactly. Yes, the middle block not counting. Now, this is why this problem didn't take me as long because I figured out the other problem before I did this one. And so I remembered that the middle blocks don't count. So that's why I was able to solve this one relatively quickly. Yeah, that's a good point. It is kind of chess-like. That's a really good point. Oh, this one I don't think I've solved yet. I don't think I've solved this one yet. So this one, I can't figure out how to prevent the king from going to 3-2. And the only way I could think of blocking the king from going to 3-2 was dropping gold on 3-3. But if I drop the gold on 3-3, the king can run to 1-2. And then bishop drop on 2-3, king 1-1. And it's not mate anymore, I don't think. Right? So like gold drop 3-3, king 1-2, bishop drop 2-3, king 1-1. And I don't have mate anymore, I don't think. Like if the gold goes to 2-2, gold takes, it's not mate. If gold goes to 3-2, he just blocks. That's not mate. Bishop 4-1. I thought bishop 4-1 doesn't work. Because if bishop 4-1, what was my answer to bishop 4? Oh, they just block bishop 4-1, right? So bishop 4-1, like knight drop on 3-2, and then you just have nothing. Well, gold 3-3, king 1-2. Bishop drop 4-1, block, knight drop on 3-2, and then bishop sack, and then gold drop on 1-3. Wow. So you block 3-2, and then you can go to 1-3 by sacking on 3-3. Nice. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Does that work for all interposition drops? Let's see what it drops. Because it does drop the knight. I see. So if we, yeah, it should work for everything because it's pinned anyway, right? So you build the wall on the one side. Okay, wait. Let's do this. Say yes, but go back. So when I did this, I did see this as a move. I knew if gold takes, I get gold drop on 2-2. But yeah, I didn't see block and then the bishop sack. But now it's like obvious. Yes, this one does feel practical. I wonder why there is a pawn on 4-3. Well, like, I don't think these are necessarily meant to be like perfect problems the way that some are, right? Because you can see in a lot of them there are multiple lines that are both like mate in 5 or mate in 3. So, there's like some class of Tsume Shogi problems where it's like every piece, there's a reason why it's there, and there's only one correct line. I don't think these are necessarily meant to be that, right? It's in an N64 game. So I think it's kind of just like put together and it's at least meant to help you practice Tsume. That would be my guess. I don't think these Tsume problems are held to the same standard of like, the ones that they do in like the national championships or whatever. Okay. This one, I feel like I have done this. I know I've done this one, but I can't remember. So the problem if we just drop the gold on 2-4 is that the king runs to 1-2. So we need to somehow prevent it from running to 1-2. But we want, so like gold drop 1-3 is the first thing that comes to mind. Gold drop 1-3. If the king takes, then we can go rook takes 1-4. King take, go king can't take, right? So rook takes 1-4 would just be mate. So king can't take on 1-3. So gold drop on 1-3, Lance has to take it. And then when the Lance takes, we can sack the rook on 2-4. And then if the king runs to 1-2, we have gold drop on 1-1. If king takes the rook, then we have gold drop on 3-4. So I'm pretty sure this is gold drop 1-3. Yeah, gold drop 1-3. What you gonna do? Okay, and then I think it's this. Yeah. Oh, and then we put it here. So this seems like what we need to do is force the Lance up somehow and then drop the gold on 2-2. So like my first instinct is to go in, but then the king can take it. So maybe we move over here. But if we move over and they block, knight drop is made. So if we move over, they take it, then the knight drop. Then if king comes up, gold drop. So we move over, Lance blocks, gold drop. So I'm pretty sure we just move this over. Move this over, pawn takes, knight drop, king runs, gold drop 3-3. A horse 3-4 looks good. Okay. Let's see what line they're going to go for. They're going to take it with the lance. Okay. Hello, Night Sparrow. How's it going? We are doing Tsume Shogi problem. It's Tsume. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so we need to figure out how to block 3-2. It feels like there's some sort of like sack the lance and then drop the bishop type deal going on. So like my initial idea is lance promote 1-3. If king runs, then just the promoted lance takes 2-2. So silver takes. Oh wait, but then no wait, silver takes. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. Wait a minute. So I'm looking over here because I technically have this on another screen, and if I keep looking straight ahead at my computer where the chat is, someone's going to give me the answer. I don't want the answer. So that's why I'm looking off this side here. Okay, I have the actual game put on a monitor over here because I don't want to see it right next to the chat. So wait, if I okay. So I was thinking dragon 1-2, king 3-2, then bishop drop 2-3. They can't take it, but then after bishop drop 2-3, he can just run the king to 3-1, and I have no way to do anything. Therefore, maybe I drop on 4-1 for no. If I drop like bishop drop 1-2, If king runs to 3-2, then we just have dragon 2-1 mate. So when I drop the bishop to 1-2, king has to take the lance. But that looks like it's getting out. It's silver 1-2. Silver 1-2, king has to take the lance for the same reason. Then after the king takes the lance, we bring the silver back to 2-3, unpromote. It's double check, so the king has to take it, and then we have bishop drop on 1-4. It's 5-10. Yes, this is in 5. All of these are in 5. I mean, there's like I covered up the details with the Habu Shogi cover, but it says it's mate in 5, and this is problem number 18. Yeah. I figured it did. I don't know. Maybe I should just move it to the bottom left. But I thought chat is supposed to show up there. Is chat showing up there, by the way? Is chat showing up on the stream? 4 moves to get rid of the lance. Yeah, right? Is chat showing up on the stream? Can someone let me know? Because I don't see it in like my Streamlabs. But it might just be because I see the stream like on the side. Or I see the chat on the side. I don't know if the chat is actually showing on stream. It seems to me like it isn't. Chat is not in the video. Just on the side in the chat widget. Okay, that's true. Because I'm only doing YouTube, so okay, I guess it's fine. I can just keep it this way. I don't need to put chat on the screen. Yeah, that works. That works, I think. Okay, what did I say the answer was? Silver, right? Silver, king takes, sack the silver. I'm trying to think, does this work if you also promote? It doesn't, right? Because then they can block. You need it unpromote, so it's double check. That one seems pretty practical too. I feel like you get in positions sometimes where you have like your dragon in the corner like this, and there's like just some like wonkiness for why you can't find mate. So maybe this one felt potentially kind of useful. Okay, so now I'm certain I haven't done this line. So we need to prevent it running to 4-3 and then to 5-4. So my first instinct is something like rook drop 5-3 or like rook drop 1-3. If I drop it on 1-3 or 2-3, it's kind of blocking my bishop seeing 3-2. Or I could drop on 4-3, and then when the king takes, I can bring the horse to 3-2. But then the king goes to 5-3, and I can't stop it from going to 6-2 and from it going to 6-4. There's 2 places I would need to block. So, okay, if we do the rook on 5-3, and they block, we have gold drop 3-2. So they have to take it with the gold. And then we just wait, and then gold drop 4-2, gold drop 3-2. But then the king runs. So there's something clever. It's gold drop 2-4. No, because then king goes to 4-2. So wait, rook drop 5-3, gold takes. Rook drop 5-3, gold takes. Maybe it's not rook drop 5-3 then. But I don't see what to do after gold takes. Rook drop 5-3, gold take. I saw the chat move, so I'm pretty sure someone already put the answer in there. I don't want to look. saw it move again. I see it moving over there. I really want rook 5-3 to work. Because this way I keep it kind of boxed in, but after, wait, gold 5-3, and then what? Oh, is it gold drop 4-3? And then if gold takes, silver promotes to 3-2. If king takes, then horse to 3-2. That must be it. That must be it. There's no hiding in chat, is there? I don't know what that means, hiding in chat. No hiding in chat. Rook 5-3 and gold 4-3. Yeah. Yeah. Moving the chat again just to put pressure. Oh, testing. I see. Yes. Okay, so I'm pretty happy that I saw rook 5-3 right away. I'm also happy that I stuck with it because it seems like that's kind of the only war. Like in Discord, you can hide messages. You know, that would be a great feature for YouTube to build. I don't think it is. I don't think that's a feature in YouTube chat. And even if it was a feature in YouTube chat, I'm curious if it would work inside of Streamlabs. So actually, maybe it could be a Streamlabs feature even. Like it doesn't even need to be a YouTube feature necessarily. It could be just be a Streamlabs feature. But I guess it would need to be a YouTube feature too, right? Because yeah, I don't think Twitch does that either. I don't think Twitch does that either. Or maybe you can. Maybe you can like maybe there's like a cheat way where like you can set the background color of your text equal to the color of the text itself. But then when you highlight it, it looks different. I feel like that might be doable. Maybe we can try that. But I'm pretty sure you can't change background text color in YouTube chat. But I think maybe you can on Twitch chat. But that would be the way that I would think about doing it. All right, let's go to the next one. Ooh. We only have a pawn. Okay, so if we drop the pawn on 3-6 right away, the king's going to 2-6. So we really don't want the king to go to 2-6. So one of the ways I'm thinking about the king not going to 2-6 is like sack the dragon on 2-4. Pawn takes, bishop promote on 4-4. That's mate. So if we sack the dragon on 2-4, king has to take. And then we drop the pawn on 2-5. King has to come back to 3-5. And then we promote the bishop. Yeah. Okay. Move in the chat. Yeah, I wonder if you can put into chat. Can you type in YouTube chat and pick a background color? I don't think you can. But I think you can on Twitch. I think I've seen that before. Okay. I mean, this one is just like, how could it not be made? So, I mean, the obvious move to start with is knight 4-3. King would have to run to 4-2. And the problem, I guess, is that the king is going to run to 3-3 if we do that. So, maybe we need to do something like rook sack on 3-3. Like rook 3-3 promote. Silver takes. Knight drop on 4-3. If king runs to 4-2, gold drop 5-3 is mate. If king runs to 2-2, then gold drop 1-2 looks like mate. Is that right? Is that mate, actually? Yeah, that's mate. So the question is, okay, if we sack the rook on 3-3 and knight takes, knight drop on 4-3, king 4-2 is still gold drop 5-3, king 2-1 is still gold drop 1-2. So I'm pretty sure we're going rook sack on 3-3 here. Yes, and then we're going to do the knight drop. And then we're going to do the gold drop. All right. I thought that one was pretty straightforward. Like, it was just like a very straight logic train of like, I want to drop the knight here, but the king's going to run here. So then I can just sack the rook, and that's just like that line of thinking just worked. Okay. Interesting. So mate in 5, 2 pieces in hand, so I can move 1 piece and I have 2 drops. So I want to just take the rook, but then I think the king runs out. So I think we need to take the rook later. But I'm not sure when and how to use this knight. Oh, maybe we go knight, actually. Maybe there's something with knight 2-5. I feel like if we go knight 2-5 now, king can run to 2-4, and we're not catching them. Oh, it's me. Like silver drop 2-2? Silver drop 2-2, rook takes, then the knight jump? No, it can still go to 2-4. Ah, silver drop 2-4. Silver drop 2-4. If the rook takes, knight 2-5. If king back, rook drop is mate. Wait, is it? Yeah, rook drop on 1-3 is mate. So silver drop 2-4. Silver drop 2-4. If king runs to 1-4, then we just take the rook. Silver drop 2-4. Rook takes. Knight jump to 2-5. Rook takes. Rook drop 1-4. Right? It must be silver drop 2-4, right? Silver 2-4. Yeah. Boy, that was a fun one too. This one seems slightly less practical to me. I don't know. Like these positions where like they have a rook defending the king like this, like it doesn't happen that much, so. Okay. So my first instinct is I want to get this rook out of there somehow. So I want to drop on 3-3, but that's not check. But I want it to be. So maybe, what if we start with gold drop on 5-1? King takes, bishop drop 3-3 is now check. If rook takes, we can drop the gold on 5-2. If they block... Oh, no, it doesn't work, does it? Gold drop 5-1. King takes, bishop drop 3-3, silver 4... No, silver 4-2 we can drop on 5-2. Yeah, if they block, we can just drop on 5-2. So against bishop drop 3-3, the king has to run to 6-1, but then we have gold drop 7-1. That's made. So I think this was also pretty straightforward, right? Like I even said, like, okay, I want to drop something on 3-3 and have it be check. And from there, it kind of just was obvious. So they're just going to take for us. And we're just going to go boom. This is pretty practical, I think. This is very practical because you have a lot of positions where the rook is defending the king horizontally, whereas the The previous problem, the rook was defending vertically, which doesn't happen that often. Like you don't get like your king on trapped on the edge with the rook blocking the second file, right? Or like the rook defending the second file. Whereas this type of thing happens all the time, where the rook is defending the second rank. So this is pretty practical. So it's like, so the idea is you want to get the rook off of the second rank. You need to do it with check, so you can sack a piece to force the king to go to that square, and then you get the drop with tempo and the check. So that was nice. I like that one. Okay. This doesn't look like mate. It looks like there's a lot of room to the left. Looks like there's a lot of room. So we need to sack off a piece on the right first, I think. And so the question is, right? Like I don't think dragon 2-1 works. King just goes to 5-2 and just runs to 5-3. So I think we need to either sack the horse or the dragon, right? But I don't see how sacking the horse on 3-1 is helpful. So I'm pretty sure it has to start with dragon takes 3-2. Because then if the king tries to run, dragon can take on 4-2. So it's much more. So dragon takes 3-2, king has to take back. And then we have a silver and a gold. Then we have a silver and a gold. But then how do we prevent it from going to 4-1? It seems like horse like 1-4 doesn't get the job done to me. This is still mate in 5. Huh. Dragon takes 3-2. King has to take. Is it like silver drop 3-3? Dragon takes 3-2. King takes. Silver drop 3-3. Silver takes. Gold drop 4-2. Right? That works. Oh, wait. King 2-1, right? Wait. Dragon takes 3-2. King takes 3-2. We need to check while having the mate threat on 4-2. So that to me feels like silver drop 3-3. Silver takes. Gold drop 3-1. It's gold drop 3-1 after silver takes. Yeah, that's it. Wait, let's see. Silver 3-3, yeah. Gote has 5 move, always gold drop mate. Yeah. The gold drop mate's too strong. Gold OP, man. Oh, so you went this way, but this just goes to here. Golds are OP. Golds are so strong. So important to have these golds. Okay. This is problem number 25. Still mate in 5. Let's see. So if the king ever goes to 1-4, it's a trivial mate with horse taking on 1-3. The problem is the other way is not true. If right, like horse taking on 3-3 is not mate. So like my first instinct is to like drop a rook on 4-4. Rook drop 4-4. They have to block. And then after they block, gold drop 1-4? No, because dragon takes, and then it's going to be able to run to 1-5, right? Wait, rook drop 4-4? block. Huh. I saw the chat move. I saw the chat move. I saw it move. Ah, okay. Wait, rook chop 4-4. Let's say they block on 3-4. Can we just take it? Whatever it is? No. Rook drop 1-4 to start? Dragon takes? Yeah, no, we can't do that. I don't think we can drop anything on 1-4, because no matter what dragon takes, and then the king just goes to 1-5. The only way we can do that is if we can force the lance up. We go gold 3-4. Gold 3-4. If king takes, rook drop 4-4 is mate. So the lance has to take. And then once the lance takes, we can drop the rook on 1-4. If pawn takes, then we have horseback to 3-3 or 1-3. I think both of those are mate. And then if the dragon takes, we have horseback to 3-3. So I think this is going to be gold sack on 3-4, lance takes, rook sack on 1-4. I'm assuming the dragon's going to take, and then horseback to 3-3. Every time I look, Olivier already has it. He's so fast on it. Right, gold 3-4, lance takes, rook 1-4. Yeah, that was my answer. But it's slow. Really? Pawn takes? Pawn takes? Doesn't this make it so that both of these work? Why would you not program in dragon takes and just make it so that there's only one solution? That's so dumb. Why would you write pawn takes here? That doesn't make any sense. Who made this game? No. I mean, the whole point is that dragon takes is the tricky line, right? Oh well. I think I'm gonna go to let's finish problem number 30, and then I think we're gonna call it a stream. I'm going to some sort of concert tonight, so I need to get ready for that. But I think we'll be able to get to problem number 30 probably. Okay. Okay, we only have one piece in hand this time. So dragon sack on 1-2 is speaking to me. But that seems like a waste. Because it would be like dragon sack 1-2, king takes, and then there's nothing. So we need to be able to use this knight. So maybe we need to use the knight first. So we go knight drop on 2-5. Gold has to take. And then we probably end up just taking the knight on 3-3. And that's a trivial mate. This is kind of a dumb problem, isn't it? Am I missing something here? Shogi concert, Pog. It is not a shogi concert. It's a classical music concert. It's at the New York Philharmonic. They have some deal where, like, if you're under a certain age, you get like a gigantic discount on tickets. And my wife is still under that age, and she loves piano, so we're gonna go see some. We go a lot actually, so the knight 3-3 can take. Oh, I see. So you're saying if I drop the knight on 2-5 first, they can take with the knight. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? It looks like a problem. So if I go dragon 3/3 anyway, they can block. So that probably means we need to take the knight first, yeah? So it probably means we need to take the knight first. If they run... What happens if they run? Actually. Take the knight and they go to 1-2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's mate because we can go back, forth, and then drop the knight again, but I don't think that's mate in 5, right? Yeah. So I think you're right. I think dropping on 2-5 immediately is wrong. Because they can just take with the knight. And then we don't have mate anymore. So I think we need to take the knight first with the dragon. If they block, we have knight drop on 2-5. But then also king 1-2. I think we need to take the knight, though. Take the knight. Take the knight, gold drop. Take the knight, block. Whatever they blocked, I think we take it with the bishop. Take back and then knight drop. But then the king runs. Wait, take the knight. Then we have 2 knights. Block, knight drop, take. That doesn't look right. Well, let's see if my first instinct was like a dragon sack on 1-2. But king takes, and then I don't know what you do. Now my other idea was like a dragon sack on 2-2. But again, king takes. Knight drop 3-4, and then you have nothing. Maybe it's something like, pawn 1-4 maybe. Pawn 1-4. Wait, pawn 1-4? King takes. Oh, he's getting out to 2-5, isn't he, if we do that? Right? Pawn 1-4, king takes. Can we prevent him going to 2-5? Pawn 1-4, king takes. I want to dragon 1-2, and that's a double check, but then king goes to 2-5. I don't think we can stop him anymore. I don't really see how dragon 3-3 works. He just runs to 1-2, and we can't use a knight. We can go back to 3-2. But then he just blocks. Okay, what if knight 2-5 anyway? We let it take with the knight. It feels like there's gotta be a way. Oh, wait. Knight 2-5, knight takes, then pawn 1-4. Because then 2-5 is blocked. Right? Then pawn 1-4. If gold takes, then dragon 3-3 is mate, because it's just a useless block. If king takes on 1-4, we have dragon 1-2, which is double check. And it's mate because he can't go to 2-5. That's the answer. That's the answer. Yeah. That was tricky. That was really tricky. I don't think I've ever gotten a double checkmate in an actual game. I'm pretty sure I've never gotten this before in an actual game. Like, I'd be curious, has anybody gotten this in a game before? Because I don't think I've ever gotten anything close to this in a game. I think the closest to this type of mate is the pattern where you promote your bishop to like 2-3 or something, and the king is on 2-1, and your rook's going by. Like that's like the closest puzzle type mate I think that I've gotten in a game. Like this one, man. If you get this in a game, like I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy if I got this in a game. Oh, this looks so simple. It's gonna be like sack a piece on 1-2 or 3-2, sack the sack the dragon on 2-3, and then drop a gold on 3-2 or something, right? That's got to be the pattern. So like silver drop 3-2, gold takes, dragon 2-3, gold takes, gold drop 3-2. Is there any way to go around that? Like silver drop has to take it with the gold, dragon. If he blocks, we take with the knight. Okay, I think this is a pretty trivial one. Yeah. And gold drop. Easy. Easy peasy. I'm going to take a quick break to go get some water. I'll go ahead and just bring the next problem up so you guys can solve it. And hopefully I won't peek at the chat when I'm coming back. Okay. I should have at least looked at the problem before I left. I could at least think about it in my head a little bit. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so it's mate in 5. So problem number 28. We got 3 pieces in hand. So it's just like drop, 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 right? So we have to deal with king taking on 4-2, and we have to deal with king 2-2 being able to take the token. So the problem is, if we drop the gold on 4-1, king goes to 2-2, and we don't have another gold to drop. We only have silvers, and they can't check and defend the token. So what I would like to do is something like silver drop 2-2. If the king takes... Wait, silver drop 2-2. King takes. It's running. It's running to 1-3. No. Silver drop 2-2, king takes, gold drop 1-2, king 3-1, and I only have a silver left, so that doesn't work. I was thinking about promotion sacking the pawn, but I have 3 pieces in hand, and it's a mate in 5, so I just need to drop pieces. Wait, silver drop 2-2. I don't think we can put a gold down on 2-1. It doesn't seem like gold drop 4-1 works either. Silver drop 2-2 really feels like it must be it. Silver drop 2-2, king takes. Silver drop 2-2. King takes silver drop 1-3. King takes gold drop 1-2. If silver takes gold drop 2-1. So silver drop 2-2. King takes 4-2. Gold drop 5-2. And that's mate. Pawn 4-1, but it seems one move too slow. It is, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's silver drop on 2-2. Let's see which way they go, because they're going to do the take way. So I think you drop the silver to 1-3. And then you drop the gold and say, gotcha. Gotcha! Okay, problem number 29. Got two problems left. So one thing, I don't really like these types of problems where it's mate and 5 and they give you 3 pieces in hand, because you know you have to just like drop the pieces every move. It's kind of like, I don't know how to put it. I don't like it. Although, interesting though. Okay, so we have the lance blocking the left. We have the horse on the right, but how do we use the horse? Because 2-3 and 1-3 are both blocked off. Huh. Okay, so we have 3 pieces. So it's never gonna be horse sack, which means it's either like silver drop 2-2, silver drop 4-2, gold sack in those spots, or gold sack on 4-1. Gold sack 4-1 seems interesting. Wait, silver sack 2-2 first, maybe? King takes. What? If silver drop 4-2? Silver drop 4-2. Oh, gold drop. We want to get gold drop on 4-2, I think, so that the horse can take on 3-2. That makes sense. So if we silver drop 4-2, no. But like that's not move mate in 5. But I guess it threatens the mate in 5 or something. So if we silver drop 4-2, king takes. But then I have to drop the gold on 5-3. King runs, silver drop, king runs. Oof. Wow. Oh. Gold drop 4-1. King 2-2. Silver drop 3-1. King 1-2. That doesn't work either. Gold drop 4-1. King 2-2. This is the thing. I think gold drop 4-2 maybe? Because it makes it so that the king has to take. But then I don't understand. After silver 5-3, king just runs to 3-1. I thought I saw the chat move, but I'm not sure actually. It doesn't look like it moved. Ooh. Like 100%, if I was in a game, I would assume that there is no mate here. and I would just play like silver drop 2-3 or something. 100%. Because okay, I definitely saw the chat move that time. I definitely saw it move that time. And it's still Olivier, but I didn't actually see the message, so I haven't seen the solution yet. Now the great thing so far in this session is none of these problems have taken me that long compared to before. Like, I had a couple of bait and fives when I started doing this a couple of days ago take me like over half an hour. So that isn't happening until the, I mean, maybe this problem. I mean, we're at 5 minutes. But I just don't see anything here. Like, I don't get it. Like, if I silver drop on 2-2 and the king takes it, I have nothing, right? So that can't be it. Dropping on 2-2 doesn't seem very good. But even if I like drop on 4-2, let's say silver drop 4-2, king goes to 2-2. Like 2-3 and 1-3 are covered. But I guess in that case, I can go silver drop 3-1, and then wherever the king goes, I have gold drop on 2-2. So at least starting with silver drop on 4-2 means the king has to take it. So silver drop 4-2, king takes. But then what? Can it just run back? Silver drop 4-2, king takes. What am I missing? It can definitely just run back no matter what. So it doesn't seem like silver drop 4-2 is a thing either. This is what? Silver drop 4-2, king takes. What? I don't even have an idea of where to go on this one. Like silver drop 4-2, king takes, and then what? Like gold drop 4-1? Doesn't do anything, he just takes it. Alright. It's 8 minutes. This is like way too long for a mate in 5. The cheat is that I know the pawn 4-4 is there for a reason. So I think about dragging the king to 4-3. But in a game, you can't read that way. I'm assuming that kind of sounds like you're talking about the last problem, maybe. Silver 4-3. Oh no, this is this problem. Ah, silver 4-3. Oh, that's very clever. Wait, silver 4-2, king takes, silver 4-3. Oh, it was the same idea as the one before. Was it the last one? Or was it the one where we needed to check the king while also attacking the silver or something? So silver 4-2, king takes. Silver drop on 4-3. If the silver takes, gold drop on 4-1 is mate. And if king takes, then you have gold drop on 5-3. Ooh. That's a tough one. So from here, how can I see silver 4-3? I guess the idea was I had a comment at the very beginning of how do you use the horse, right? That was the big question mark for me in this problem is how do you use this horse? And when you drop on 4-3, silver takes, now the horse blocks. And when the king takes, now it can't run back 3-1 anymore and it's trapped by gold drop 5-3. So yeah, we want to drop the gold on 4-1. But if we drop the gold on 4-1 right now, the horse doesn't defend it, and the silver can take it. So we need to get the silver out of the way. I see. I actually don't know if I would. Honestly, I don't know if I would. Hold on, let's go back to that one. Right? Like you're saying if it's mate in 3 from here, I would find it very fast. Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't see this. Which I should. It's the only check in this position that I didn't look at, right? Yeah. Ah, interesting. So this is like sacrificing to get the king up to 4. See, so that was a blind spot for me too. Like in my head, I didn't think about getting the king to 4-3 as mate. So that's one blind spot. And the other blind spot is that I didn't see that when the if the silver leaves 3-2, then the horse activates all the way down to 4-1. So I missed both ideas of the silver drop. Lesson learned, hopefully. Lesson learned, hopefully. Okay, last problem. Interesting. Interesting. This feels like a silver sack so that you can use the knight. The problem with the silver sack on 1-3 is knight takes, knight drop, and then the king can go back to 2-1. So we sack on 2-3. Yeah, we sack on 2-3. If the king takes, we drop the gold on 3-4. King has to run back to 1-2. Knight drop is mate. So if we sack on 2-3 and the gold takes, we have knight drop. Gold has to take, and we drop the gold on 2-2. See, this one was I thought this is pretty straightforward, right? Like I don't know, like this felt a lot easier than the previous problem. Obviously, this one took me less than a minute, and the last one took me 10 minutes. So that's like the thing that I would try. I want to like understand. Let's say yeah. Oh no, wait. There's more. Okay, there's more, but maybe we'll save it for later. We'll save it for later because I need to prep dinner soon. So this problem looked so much harder. Silver drop, silver drop. Whereas this one was like super straightforward. You just sack the silver and then like the only things that work. I don't know. I would like a working theory as to why this one felt so easy and this one feels so hard. Actually, you know what I'll do? We'll pause the mate in fives for now. We're going to pause the mate in fives for now. And we're going to take a look at a much harder problem. We're going to look at, let's go for the last problem. Mate in 15. We're going to do one more problem. This is literally the last problem in the entire set. So apparently there's 23 mate in 15s. And this is problem number 23, mate in 15. So we'll do this one last one. We'll see what happens. Okay, we got 4 pieces in hand. Bishop, bishop, gold, knight. I think it is easy because there are not many checks to look at. Yeah, but there weren't that many checks in the other problem either, right? It was like there were 2 silver drops and 3 gold drops. Like, okay, so all right, see you, Frank. Mate and 15. Okay, so one of the main things I'm worried about is the king running the 4-3 right now. So, like, maybe we want to start with a bishop drop on 5-2? That seems dicey. King 5-1, gold drop 6-1, king 4-2, and it seems like we're kind of stuck. Bishop drop 5-1, and then like all our pieces are to the left. Bishop drop 5-1. Yeah, that doesn't seem good to put the gold all the way on 6-1. So then the other thing I thought of was bishop drop on 6-3. Because then it can't go to 5-1. And then if it goes to like, if it tries to go to 4-3, we can always cover it. So I'm thinking I like bishop drop 6-3 a lot. If you put it on 2-3, then it goes to 4-2. Well, yeah, I feel like the right side is covered enough. I want to put it on 6-3. Because now if it goes, okay, bishop drop 6-3. If it goes to 4-2, we can just promote on 5-2, and it's kind of trivial. So bishop drop 6-3. I think they have to run to either 3-1 or 3-2. If you run to 3-1, gold drop 2-2, king 4-2, bishop promote 5-2 is made. So bishop drop 6-3, king has to run to 3-2. I think that's clear. The question is, how do we end up using this knight? I guess we end up using the knight with a check and make the dragon move somewhere, and that helps us make the king or something. But like, this almost looks too easy for a mate in 15. Like, I guess I need to figure out the defensive resource. So bishop drop 6-3, king 3-2. So if we bishop drop 4-1 there, king goes to 4-3. And then it's going to run to 3-4. So maybe when the king is on 3-2 is when we sack the knight to get the rook away. I could also see like you want to get the king to like 2-2 or 4-2 and then sack the knight on 3-4. Because that seems like a problem square. Bishop drop 6-3, king 3-2. Toking to 2-2. King 4-3. Bishop drop 5-2. No, that doesn't work. Then the pawn gets taken. Oh, maybe gold drop 4-2. King to 2-3. Oof. maybe, maybe this was a bad idea. Moving the chat to trick me. I didn't even see the chat move. I was too focused on the board. Yeah, maybe it was a bad idea to go straight to mate in 15 from mate in 5. Oh, it was probably a dumb idea. That was probably a dumb idea. I'm pretty sure bishop 6-3 is the first move, though. And then king 3-2. Bishop drop 2-1. King 2-3. Then it's getting out, right? Then it's getting out. Yeah, it looks right. But then it's actually kind of tricky. Like, it's getting to 4-3 or 2-3 no matter what. So the question is, which way do you want it to go? It feels to me like we want it to go to 4-3 because we have the bishop on 6-3. So we have a few more squares covered, which means bishop drops 6-3, king 3-2, bishop drop 4-1. Bishop drop 4-1, king 4-3, bishop on 4-1 promotes to 5-2. King 4-4. That looks dodgy. That looks really dodgy. Because it can escape to 5-5. And if you drop a gold on 5-4, it escapes to 4-5. Maybe we drop the knight on 4-4. Bishop drop 6-3, king 3-2, knight drop 4-4. If king goes to 4-3, bishop drop 3-2. King takes 4-4. And we got nothing. Well, no, bishop promote 5-4. King 3-4. Bishop promote 4-3. King 2-4. Jeez. Yeah, that's a good point. Although you said pawn a6, so I have to dock you a point for that. Because it's 1-6. It's pawn 1-6. All right, I'm gonna stare at it on my computer screen. Maybe it'll change my perspective. Bishop drop 6-3. You know, after king 3-2, maybe I just promote the bishop actually to 5-4. That looks pretty good. That way I still keep the piece in hand. And then king 2-3. And then maybe something like bishop drop 3-2, king 2-4. And you have some sort of like sack on 1-4 at some point. Knight drop 6-3, king 2-5. Sack on 1-4, but king just goes to 2-6. Maybe we sack the toking on 1-3. He runs to 2-4. And we have not. Actually, then we can use the lance. If he takes it. It doesn't look like he should take the token on 1-3. Maybe. Trying to figure out where you misread. So what you're saying is you see a mate, but you think it might not be right, is what you're saying. Bishop drop 6-3 looks so good. King 3-2. I like bishop promote 5-4. King 2-3. Or do they block? Maybe the problem is block. Lock in. I don't know. I think it was just a very bad idea to go from mate in 5 straight to mate in 15. This is not mate in 5. This is mate in 15, by the way. I was doing mate in 5s, and then I decided I'm going to try the mate in 15 right away because I felt like I was doing okay in the mate in 5s. Terrible idea. Where I come up with stupid ideas like this, but this is mate in 15, not 5, by the way. Maybe I'll. Yes, it's 15. I'm gonna scooch this over. So you can see this says 15. Tsume in 15. So if you had a mate in 5, you definitely misread something. Yeah, let's Alright, let's resize this a little bit. Put it over. We'll put it over there. Put it over there. Show that this is mate 15. Oh man. Alright. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna put the move on the board and see what they do. Has to go to 3-2, right? Wait, what? The game crashed? The game crashed? I'm counting that as victory. The game crashed. So this is a very old console. It's a very old game. And sometimes it does crash. It does crash from time to time. So we're going to leave this problem for another day. I was able to, we were able to get through the first 30 problems of the mate and fives. So hopefully from now on, I'll be able to breeze through those and we'll be able to try and finish all of the mate and fives relatively soon. So again, maybe it crashes on every wrong move. No, I know it doesn't do that because we were making wrong moves before. But yeah, so this is part of my idea to only practice Tsume for a month to see if that is going to help me get better at endgame. Because I'm pretty sure that my endgame skills are much, much worse than other players at my actual rank. Which means if I'm able to increase my endgame skill, that should mean my overall rank should go up. Logically, theoretically, practically, we're gonna find out. So it's been about 2 hours. I will probably be streaming this every day for the next few weeks until I've done my month. And then at the very end, I'm probably not gonna stream my actual games because that's gonna take quite a while. Maybe I will. I don't know. But the idea is I'm going to be able to, put together a nice video of I only did Tsume for a month. Did I actually get any better? And you'll be able to see the results in that video. So thanks to everyone for watching the stream. And hopefully I'll